What is up, you guys? Welcome or welcome back to my channel here on YouTube. It's been a while since I filmed, but I wanted to do this video, a dedicated video on all of the Victoria Beckham Beauty eyewears. They recently came out with 3 new shades. So currently the lineup has 5 mattes and 5 shimmers. And I figure it's nice to have all of them featured in a video so you guys can decide whether or not you want to pick one up. Now, the way that I like to do these videos, because I have a few of these type of videos on my channel, the way I like to do them is I'll make sure to put timestamps down below of all of the individual eyewear, so this way you can actually go towards all of the ones that you want to see and you don't have to watch the entire video. Although this video did take me a long time, so I hope you guys do appreciate it. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you did really like this video. You can also like this video so maybe the algorithm picks this one up and sends it to other people that probably would like this video as well. Of course, if you have any questions, you can comment down below. I want to get to the content as soon as possible, but let me just say I'm going to divide the video between the mattes and the shimmers, and between it all, Victoria Beckham Beauty also launched new skincare, 2 new cleansers. They're sold as a set for 130 euros. So this set is 130 euros. I'll put the prices of pounds and dollars down below as well. I am going to be using this set as well because I wanted to do an individual video on this set, but unfortunately I kind of missed a boat on this. I have been using this set though. I know 130 euros is quite pricey, but I also know that some of you might have looked at this set as well and wanted to know my opinions. So in between it all, between the timestamps, you're also going to hear a little bit about the cleansing duo set that they launched as well. But let's first get into the video. The Longwear eyeshadow sticks, 5 shimmers and 5 mattes. They're described as a sophisticated waterproof eyeshadow stick and delivers a high impact color for up to 8 hours of wear time. Now, I have extremely oily eyelids, and I'll tell you that this is one of the only shadow sticks that actually does do what it says it's supposed to do. So I would say for me, with extremely oily eyelids, we're definitely reaching the 8-hour wear time. I think in the summertime it's closer to 6 hours on me, but without an eye primer, I'm very happy with the wear time on this. This is also the reason why I have all 10 of the eyewears. They don't take up a lot of space. Yes, they are quite expensive. So let me show you guys all of the eyewears on a light to medium skin tone that is neutral to warm leaning. Of course, everything comes in this Victoria Beckham Beauty packaging. It says it's 1.6 grams of net weight. It's a cruelty-free and clean item. It has an 18-month shelf life, and it's made in Italy, which is where all the best makeup, of course, is from. And it should be creamy, tug-free with 0 creasing. Each of the eyewears comes in a stylo format that you do have to click close. You have a click system and a click to open. It's important with these cream shadows that you do really look at the click close, because everything dries out and then it can actually detach from the applicator. So the click system is vital for you guys to actually keep the product as good as it can be, as creamy as it can be for as long as possible. Like most Victoria Beckham Beauty items, it comes either in black or white packaging. They've decided to go with the sleek black packaging for the eyewears, but you do see a band of the coloring of which color you picked up, which I really like, because some of the other stick eyeshadows that I have, they don't have that distinction. This one has quite a good distinction. Of course, you'll have the logo on top, and it's just a very simple, quite easy applicator design. It's not innovative. All of them, they have the closure system, the twist system, but it's functional, and I think it's very on brand for Victoria Beckham Beauty, because they're definitely going for that functionality and just the everyday woman and easy eye look. I thought it would be good to show you guys the swatches. Everything you see here is filmed in natural lighting, and I'm filming with a Samsung phone, so nothing fancy going on here. Most of you guys know I recently went through a divorce. My camera is currently packed away, so everything you see here is true to color and definitely the best representation of the colors here. I thought it'd be fun to first show you guys all of the mattes currently, with the newer shadow indicated all the way at the back. So here you have Trench, Pecan, Sunflower, Macaron, and of course the newest shade. Then I have swatched the shimmer shadows. This one will go in the order of Oyster, Caramel, Bottle Green, Shroom, and the final color, Ballet. Now I have kept on the swatches for you guys for the entire time of me demoing, and as you can tell, these aren't going anywhere. When these dry up, they do stick, and it's just a really great wear time, especially for your oily girls out there. Now, in terms of formulation, they should all sort of be the same formulation, but because they are different colors, not all of them perform the same way. So while I'll show you guys the demo of each and every single color, I'm also kind of walking you through what I personally think of each and every single color. Then at the end, I'll do my recommendations for you guys, maybe which ones are my favorite colors. I hope this is going to be a fun video for you guys. Again, please make sure to like, subscribe, and do all of that. And if at the end of this video you do want to buy one of these, I'm going to link everything down below. I'm also going to link the affiliates of the cleanser down below as well. And if you want to hear my thoughts on the cleanser, then of course I will also have a section where we talk about the cleanser. Guys, let's go into the demo. I've decided to do the demo in order of the swatches. So let's first talk about my favorite shade, and that is Trench. Trench is a matte beige shade, and it looks very unassuming. It's very close to my skin color, but for some reason, for an everyday eye look, this is just such an easy shade to have if you want to go with that no makeup look. The way that I typically use these is I go in straight from the applicator, and then I use my finger to blend it out. These do have quite a fast dry time. Not all of them have the same amount of play time, but with Trench, because it's also such a light color, it's a very easy color to blend out. And I use my finger for this. The warmth of my finger does help with the playing time. Trench doesn't really do much on my skin color other than add a little bit of contouring and maybe hide all of the imperfections that my eye area has. For example, my veins, it hides all of that. So it just gives me a more clean and polished look. It is the shade that I use the most, and the shade that I'll probably recommend at the end of this video, or at least one of the shades that I'll make sure to recommend at the end of this video. Then the second shade that we're going into is Pecan. Pecan is described as a matte deep brown, the deepest matte shade of the entire lineup, and definitely a shade that you need to have in your arsenal if you're someone that likes the one and done shadows, but you also like to kind of layer and actually add a little bit more dimension at the outer corners of the eye. Pecan is the one that has the most controversy because this is by far the driest formulation out of all of them, and I can attest to that. This one dries out much faster than all of the other ones, making it a little harder to work with. I typically use this at the outside corners of my eye, actually on top of Trench, to just give my eye a little bit more contouring, but you can use this all over the eye as well. I would definitely say when it comes to Pecan, try to make sure to just go with one eye at a time. Blend it out with your finger, really use the warmth of your hand. Build up slowly. I think you can get a very beautiful eye look with this one. If you want to go kind of like a deeper, darker, smoky eye, you can definitely do this with Pecan. I think in terms of coloring, they really nailed it, and it definitely is a color that needed to be in this lineup, but you know, caution. This is a difficult color to use. Now, what I love about the mattes from Victoria Beckham Beauty is they have decided to not only go with kind of the 90s neutral style colors, but they have decided to venture out in the more pops of colors. And that's definitely what you see here. The next shade that I want to show you guys is the shade Sunflower. This is a matte mustard yellow. Typically not a shade that I'll use for every single day, and I was quite hesitant to buy this one. I did not buy this the first time I tried these eyewears, but because I loved the formula so much, I did decide to go ahead and actually buy all of the shades, and Sunflower is one of them. The nice thing about Sunflower is it's a matte mustard yellow, so not a true neon yellow, and it's actually more flattering on my skin tone than I actually thought it was gonna be. It's also very easy to use. It works the same more like Trench, where it's really easy to blend out. I don't think that there's any muddiness. I love the mustard in here. It's making it a little bit more wearable, and for me, someone that maybe likes to experiment with pops of colors, but also loves a good one and done shadow. For example, the springtime, I think this is when I would love to wear Sunflower a little bit more. What I like about this color is it does look very like bright and neon. It's very true to color. It's buildable, so you can kind of layer it to really get that like beautiful rich color, but you don't need to. And there is some blendability to it. I personally really enjoy this shade, although it's not a shade that I would wear for every single day. Another shade that is a pop of color, super beautiful, and that's the shade Macaron. Also a very blendable, beautiful shade, a beautiful pink. I think a little bit more muted than Sunflower, so it's gonna take a little bit more time to build up. I have a feeling that this is intentional because it is quite pink, it is quite out there. It's actually described as a matte lilac. I personally would say it translates a little bit more pink on me, a little bit more, you know, pop of pink. Again, another great shade for the springtime. Not a shade that I dare to wear on a everyday basis, but there's a certain look, a certain outfit that you can pair with this beautiful color. It is blendable, it is buildable, and personally, it is a favorite of mine. If you do like these colors or you want to have a pop of color, maybe this one in the inner corner of your eye, this would also be a super beautiful pop of color on a very natural eye look. This one definitely is a statement piece. Then the newest one out of the lineup, this one, I want to say that on the website, it actually says that this one costs 38 euros and 95 cents. So there is a difference in price here. So please make sure to look at the website to see the bundle deals that they have and also the changes in price. This is because they recently have increased the price. So maybe that's why there's a difference in price between the ones that came out last year and the ones that came out this year. But I just wanted to mention this is a newer color and it has a higher price point, but this is the shade Cornflower. Now Cornflower is described as a matte sky blue, and if anyone has ever seen Erin Parsons on like all the social media platforms, I typically watch her on TikTok. She has all this vintage makeup, and this is definitely reminding me of sort of vintage makeup, 20s style, that beautiful pop of blue. It is a very beautiful color. It's a little intimidating to work with, and personally I thought that this was the hardest color to work with in terms of blending out and looking a little patchy. I had a hard time trying to get a very flattering look out of this. I definitely feel like I needed to experiment with this color a little bit more, but there is a very specific look that you can get from this. Like I said, that kind of 20s look, if that's what you're going for. I would actually say that this is a very great product to have if you are going for that look or you are going for that party. It's a special color, so it's not one that I can dupe in my collection, but be warned, this one was a little bit difficult to work with. Now, in between the mattes and the shimmers, I did decide to actually cleanse my face. I had been using a micellar water to actually take off my makeup, but this is quite difficult to take off. These eyewears, they want to sit on the eyes. They sit on for an 8-hour period of time, and they definitely dry out. So using a micellar water is quite harsh on the eyes. I would definitely say double cleanse when you do wear these eyewears. And it's not weird that Victoria Beckham Beauty actually came out with the double cleanse system as well, because they do have these eyewears and they are so long lasting. So this system is called the Daily Cleansing Protocol. It's the ultimate facial grade double cleanse. I've been double cleansing for, I guess, over 10 years now. So it's not a new system by any means. This one is quite expensive. It retails for 130 euros, and it's a morning and night double cleansing routine. So the oil cleanser is the one in the black packaging. What I really enjoy is they did, have a different hue of color. So the green one, is going to be the, gel cleanser, and the black one is going to be the oil cleanser. It's a nice system where it's plastic, so it's not going to be like that typically heavy Victoria Beckham Beauty style packaging. And there is a twist top where you can open and close it. So it's very travel friendly. It's quite large. So here you have the oil cleanser. It removes traces of makeup, sunscreen, dirt, pollution while hydrating. It's made in Japan. And it says here it has a 12-month shelf life with 100 mLs in here. It's a very liquidy formula, as you can tell from the demo, but it does a really great job in taking off my makeup. You actually see it in the demo as well, because I've been using Cornflower as my eyeshadow. You definitely see it's really breaking down the makeup that I have on my face. It's gentle, which I really enjoy, and I have been really enjoying using this oil cleanser. It's not innovative. There are a lot of oil and balm cleansers out there that do the same, but for Victoria Beckham Beauty, I have been really enjoying this. And like I said, it's a very gentle type of formula that my skin seems to respond to really well. It should be a universal formula. It's designed for dry, mature, sensitive, oily, and combination skin. I personally have combination skin, and like I said, I have been really enjoying this cleanser. It's not too harsh on the face, and it does give me the results that I want to have. Then let's go on to the gel cleanser. The gel cleanser is designed with a gentle exfoliant called lactic acid. Now, lactic acid I am very familiar with. I've been trying a lot of U Beauty, and in terms of smell, it smells very U Beauty chemicals. So it smells like it's natural, but it definitely, I smell the lactic acid. And when you actually see it up close, also very liquidy, you definitely see the white of the acid, of the lactic acid in here. It's not a foam cleanser. You do see a little bit of whiting when you rub it out, but it's not a foam cleanser. And using this cleanser on top of the oil cleanser, it just takes off that extra like little bit of dirt and grime. The lactic acid is a gentle exfoliant, so it is going to cleanse your face beautifully. And afterwards, if you dry out your face, it's not going to do the extreme tugging. There maybe is a little bit of tugging, but I just continue on with my normal like skincare routine, and it's been fitting into my routine really nicely. So again, I'm quite impressed with this. I actually really like the way that my skin looks after I use this cleanser. Lactic acid can give me that kind of glass skin look because of that exfoliation that is in here, and it does a really great job in just cleansing and making my skin look beautiful underneath makeup, but also at the end of the day. So personally, do I think that it's worth it? You know, double cleansing is not a new concept, and you can get very cheap double cleansing systems that do the exact same thing. But if you are a Victoria Beckham Beauty like stan and you are enjoying their skincare so far, it's actually not a bad skincare duo. And like I said, if you have the money and you're just really wanting to try it out, I personally do really enjoy the skincare duo. Before I forget, the gel cleanser also has 100 ml and a 12-month shelf life, and both of these are made in Japan. Okay, continuing on to the eyewears, which is what this video is all about. Let's go and let's move on to the shimmers. The most shimmery of shimmers is probably the shade Oyster, which is the one that I'm going to be starting with. Oyster is described as a shimmery pearl. It definitely gives you that oyster feel, you know, the hue of kind of like the silvers and the grays. Generally, even though all of these are described as shimmers, I do feel like the Victoria Beckham Beauty customer is not one for crazy glitter. So none of these are going to be kind of crazy and out there. The shimmer is going to be very refined. So even though I say the Oyster one is the most shimmery, it is quite muted. So when you see it in the demo, you definitely see that there is going to be a wash of color. It is very flattering because it has the different hues in here. It has sort of the kind of the browns, the silvers, but also the neutral tonality to it, almost cool leaning. This is a great color to have for your inner corner highlight, to layer on top of some of those beautiful neutral mattes. It blends out super well. I think all of the shimmers, they all blend out really well, but they're not the most buildable. So if you're gonna go for color, I would definitely go for the mattes and not the shimmer. But Oyster does a great job for a beautiful everyday wash of color. It also does a great job for an inner corner highlight, and it's just incredibly flattering on the eyes. Oyster is definitely one that I do reach for on a, you know, consistent basis, and one that I would say is a good one to have for your makeup arsenal. Then one of my personal favorites for every single day is the shade Caramel. Caramel is described as a shimmery bronze. This is a great, more warm-toned, shimmery shade, great for every day. Or if you're gonna go for fall tones, this is a great fall tone shade. It's less shimmery than Oyster. If I would describe the shimmers, I think that they're more warm tones, so maybe more to the golden side. But altogether, it's gonna give you a very beautiful bronzy look. It's easy to blend out, maybe a little bit less blendable than Oyster, but it's not patchy at all. It's also giving you a beautiful wash of color. It has some pigment to it, so it's not gonna be so light on the eyes. Here you can actually see that I can get a more of a sultry eye look with it. Personally, it's one of my favorite colors. I think if you are more warm tone leaning, this is a very flattering color to have. Then let's look at Bottle Green. This is going to be the darkest color of the entire lineup. So the entire matte to shimmer lineup, we have Bottle Green. This one is described as a shimmery deep khaki green. This is probably the only one that in the demo I didn't use all over the eyes. I kind of localized it on my eyelid because I didn't want to look like a raccoon. I wanted to do the eyeshadow some justice. So I definitely kept it close to my waterline and then blend it out with my finger like I do with all of them. Bottle green has sort of golden flecks in there, but I think the khaki green of it all is the reason why you would probably want to wear this color. It is quite beautiful. It's giving a very smoky eye look. It's blendable, it's pigmented, so this is the most pigmented out of all of them. And personally, I don't think that this one is patchy by any means. You can get a very easy shimmery eye look from this. Not the most shimmer, but the most smoky out of all of them. It's a beautiful color to have if you are into cream shadows, and this one does stay on all day. Then let's go into the newer two shades. Two new shimmers has launched. The first one I want to talk about is the shade Shroom. I was quite interested in this one because it kind of almost looked like a duochrome. It actually says it's a storm gray, so it's going to lean a little bit more cool toned. There's some purple tones in here. It is more cool toned. There is some pigment in here. My one gripe with this shade is it looks a little bit like in the swatch, for example, it looks a little bit deeper than how it translates on my eye. I definitely feel like this again is more like Oyster, where it's a wash of color, very easy to use, very easy to blend, and very everyday friendly. It's going to give you that beautiful cool tone look with kind of like purple hues in it. It's a beautiful color. It just isn't as pigmented as I actually thought it was going to be, but it does blend out really well, and I actually see that a lot of you guys will probably be excited to have a shade like this in your collection. Now, the most exciting color I feel in the lineup, and I'm so boring, I know, but is the color Ballet. Is the one that I was most excited for because it is described as a warm pink shimmer. And I typically do like the, you know, rose gold type of shades, and I definitely feel like this was going to embody the rose gold type of shade. Is the shade that I'm wearing today. I know it doesn't look like much, and like all of the other shimmer shadows, you're going to get very little shimmer, and it is going to be a wash of color. But this is a shade that I can typically go for on a everyday basis. I don't have to think about how I apply my makeup. It just kind of blends itself, is blendable, it's very easy to use. It is a very beautiful color, and it's flattering for people that like to go for the more warmer toned looks like I do. Both Shroom and Ballet have a higher price point, so please keep that in mind. And if you are interested in buying bundles, I'll make sure to also link the bundles down below as affiliates as well. Now guys, this is the entire lineup so far for all of the eyewears. I hope you guys appreciate it. Please make sure to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you did really enjoy this video. My eyes are barking, but I definitely enjoy doing videos like this. It's also fun for me to see how these shadows perform, but also how they look on me. It's almost having like a database on all of the makeup that I have, so I can also go back to my own videos and look at how the eyeshadow looks and wears, and if I typically want to wear it on that day. So for me, it's really fun to do this. If I forgot to mention anything, guys, please make sure to use the comment section down below. I'm still a small channel, and of course I can still reply back to you. I try to do these demos as fair as possible, making these eyeshadow look as good as they can. For those of you that want to know, for all of the mattes, I use the Future Lash Mascara, and for all of the shimmers, I use the Fast Lash Mascara. I actually think that the eyewear formulation is incredibly well done. Like I said, I have extremely oily eyelids. Most cream shadows, they do crease on me, and these have a great lasting time. They're also very nice, compacted in a stylo. They do have a click system, so please make sure to use the click system because the product can dry out and then fall out like most stick shadows do. So unfortunately that has happened to my trench one because I use that one the most. It has fallen out before. So it's just a word of caution for anyone that's watching this video. But like I said, I'm actually really impressed with the eyewear formulation. I think that most of them are very easy to use and very blendable. I like the matte pops of color. I like that they've decided to do that for the mattes, and I actually think that most of the mattes are quite flattering. In terms of the newer color Cornflower, it's probably not going to be the color that I would recommend to most of you guys. I find it the most difficult to work with, and I may be a little patchy. but it is a very unique color to have in your collection. For the mattes, the colors that I can definitely recommend are actually the rest of the colors, but Trench is my favorite one. I also really like Pecan for the outer corners of the eyes, but that one has a disclaimer that it is the driest out of all of them, and I think both Cornflower and Pecan, both of them can look a little bit patchy. So if that's not something that you even want to deal with, then these are not the ones for you. But if you're like, actually, I think it looked good on you, I don't think it looked that patchy, you know, all of these shadows are definitely workable. You can definitely work with them. I'm just gonna give you my honest opinion about all of them. Personally, I think for my skin tone, Sunflower is a beautiful color to have. So if you are neutral warm leaning or warm leaning, I think Sunflower is a kick-ass color to have. For example, for the springtime, same as Macaron, but I think Macaron might look better on, it might have maybe deeper skin tones. I would love to see how that one looks and translates. It's a little, Macaron is a little bit more sheer and a little less lilac than I want it to be, but Sunflower is giving me that pop of color. So the three that I would definitely recommend, the most I would recommend are Trench and Sunflower for the pop of color, and I would recommend Pecan if you want to just go for a simple like outer corner eye look. And then let's move on to the shimmers. The shimmers are definitely more muted, like I said in the video, and they're not as glittery, maybe if most of you guys are expecting that. The shimmers translate to me a little bit more metallic on the eyeball, give you a little bit more dimension because of the shimmeriness in it. And I think the easiest colors to have are Oyster, Caramel, and maybe Ballet. I say with caution. So Oyster, that's the most shimmery one out of them. It has the chunky glitter effect a little bit, and it's also a great one to have for your inner corner highlights. Then you have Caramel. Now Caramel is for your warm tone girls. So if you are a warm tone lover, you like the caramel coffee latte looks, then Caramel is a great color to have as a one and done shadow. Easy, a little bit smoky of the eye. If you're a fall tone lover, Caramel, that's the one to have. If you are looking for something every day, you're more fair in tone, I would go with Ballet. Now, when it comes to Shroom, this is a difficult one for me because I do really enjoy it. I think it's a great everyday color to have, and it is quite unique in a sense that it has those purpley tones in there. It's a little bit less opaque than I want it to be, but it is a beautiful everyday color. Now, if you are a pop of color lover, or if you're someone that is more pigmented, so like you have a darker skin tone, I think the best colors for you are going to be Beckham, Cornflower, and of course Bottle Green. Bottle Green is the deepest color that they have. It's a well-performing shade and a beautiful smoky green, wearable green color. Okay guys, so these were all of my recommendations. I hope you guys like this video. Thumbs it up if you do. Like I said, subscribe to my channel if you love Victoria Beckham Beauty. I have an entire Victoria Beckham Beauty playlist. So if you are my skin tone buddy, or you're just a lover of Victoria Beckham Beauty but you don't know what to purchase, everything, I have the entire lineup, all one playlist where I have demos of nearly maybe everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was good to be back and filming again. I hope to consistently start posting again like I always did, but I did need a mental break this month to just, you know, focus on myself. Guys, have a beautiful, happy, healthy day, and I'll see you guys next time.